It's been this kind of year for the Baltimore Colts. The Miami Dolphins lining it up for a field goal. Don Strock pulls it away from the foot of Gero Yepremian. He rolls right and over the heads of the blue defenders. He throws to Vern Den Herter for a touchdown. Even a defensive end scores on the Colts this year. Hello, everybody. Welcome back to our NFL 78 studios. I'm Brian Gumbel. Mike Adamle is in our highlight center. We're starting the second half of the season. It's week 9. We'll try to get you caught up. There was a slaughter in New England today at Foxborough. The Patriots just beat up all over the Jets, 55-21, 526 yards of total offense. Mike Adamle has a very, very long highlight package for us. They didn't do anything wrong today, the Patriots.
Well, they sure didn't. If you are a New York Jet fan, I suggest you leave the room right now because what you're about to see isn't very pretty. 8 touchdowns and 55 points. This was number 1. Steve Grogan firing the Harold Jackson. This made it 7-0. Grogan once again, the Stanley Morgan, 14-0. Horace Ivory scores touchdown number 3, makes it 21-zip. The Jets came back and scored one of their own, 21-7. Here's touchdown number 4, Horace Ivory again, 28-7. Touchdown number 5, Grogan to Harold Jackson, 34-7. Touchdown number 6, Russ Francis, 41-7. Touchdown number 7, James McAllister. And touchdown number 8, James McAllister again. Final score, 55-21. And Walt Michaels got to go back to the drawing board. Very monotonous report there, Mike. Washington Redskins had lost 2 in a row coming into today, so they started Billy Kilmer, beat San Francisco 38-20. Kilmer was 12 for 23, 185 yards, and 2 touchdowns. Kansas City against Pittsburgh, the Steelers were hoping for a romp. Instead, they were hanging on for dear life at the end. Won at 27-24. Mike, I guess when you have the kind of class that the Steelers do and the number of good athletes they do, even when you have an off day, you've got enough to get by. Yeah, Kansas City played very well. They ran the wing tee to perfection. It just wasn't enough. At this point in the game, the Kansas City Chiefs are trailing 20-3, and then they get the wing tee in gear. Number 22, Ted McKnight, long strides it into the end zone to make it 20-10. Then Tony Reed does his touchdown thing. Watch the block of Bob Simmons, 73 here. Screens out Larry Anderson, 30. Mike Wagner gets tangled up, and so does Jack Lambert. Tony Reed reads the block extremely well, cuts back to his right. There goes Steve Furness out of bounds, and he scores to make it 20-17. Chiefs in the ball game until right here. 35, Horace Belton. The ball is stripped. Picked up by 31, Donnie Shell. He goes into the end zone to make it 27-24. First touchdown in Donnie Shell careers, and the Pittsburgh Steelers stay on top of the AFC Central 8-1. The story in Cleveland, well, Brian Sipe had been maligned as of late because of his passing, but this week he did very well. 3 touchdown passes, 2 to Reggie Rucker. Here is number 2 right here. Number 35 is going to catch this touchdown pass, and watch this reception. One-handed, Calvin Hill, 2 touchdowns of the day. 14-0, and then Mike Pruitt, a number 1 draft choice from Purdue, in 1976, goes 71 yards. Nobody's going to touch him. Big day for Cleveland Brown fans, and Sam Rutigliano, they're back in the thick of the AFC Central race. Okay, Mike, you know, it's strange to talk about Bud Wilkinson as accomplishing a first of anything this late in his career. It's been such a fabulous career, but he actually did accomplish a first today. NFL victory number 1 for Bud Wilkinson as coach of the St. Louis Cardinals. Today they beat the Philadelphia Eagles 16-10. The Cardinals are now 1-8, and the Eagles sink 1 game below the 500 level after 9 outings. Houston against Cincinnati, it's also victory number 1 for the victory-starved Bengals. They go 1-8, beating up on Houston 28-13. Earl Campbell, 19 carries for 103 yards. Another fabulous outing by a fabulous rookie, but it was the Bengals today who actually got a couple of touchdowns on the ground. Mike, what happened? Just finally putting it together? Well, first of all, congratulations to Homer Rice. Really, the story, Bryant, was the story of Kenny Anderson and Isaac Curtis and Billy Brooks. They came back and played like they did last year. Curtis had 130 yards in receptions alone. Anderson, in the 3rd quarter, is going to hand the ball off to a rookie, Dave Turner from San Diego State, who's replacing Archie Griffin. Watch him go 65 yards before 19. There he is. Willie Alexander pulls him down and set up a 1-yard touchdown run by Pete Johnson. Here comes the last Bengal touchdown of the day. Kenny Anderson, I said he had a great day. Look at those stats. And he hits Mr. Isaac Curtis, and Mr. Curtis just turns on the jet, runs away from everybody. The first win for the Cincinnati Bengals. It's too bad they didn't start out that way in week number 1.
Okay, Mike. The Giants went down to the Superdome looking for a win, but it's tough for any team besides the Saints to win down there. The Saints put up 21 points in the second half, came on to beat the Giants 28-17. Archie Manning 13 for 21, 166 yards, 2 touchdown strikes, both to Henry Childs. Detroit against Chicago. The Bears have now lost 6 straight as the Lions win their second in a row. The final was 21-17. Walter Payton 89 yards, 18 carries, but again, it was Gary Danielson having a big day for the Lions, 20 for 32. 190 yards and 2 touchdowns. Tampa Bay against Green Bay. The Packers pull this one out in the final moments, 9-7 at home. They go 7-2. Chester Markle, a 48-yard field goal with 41 seconds left, provided the difference. San Diego against Oakland. Remember the fumble game that Oakland won in the final moments? Well, the Raiders are making sure this time. They're out in front 20-7 at the half. Mike, how are they doing it? Has Stabler gotten over that his propensity to throw interceptions that he showed last week?
Yeah, he's playing well, and a fake field goal helped too. Both teams coming off embarrassing losses last week, and it was the Chargers that got on the board first in this contest in Oakland, Alameda County Stadium. Watch number 37, Hank Bauer, take this handoff from Dan Fouts. He barges through the middle of the line. Look at that block by Russ Washington, number 70, and he's going to drag Mr. Jack Tatum into the end zone. You don't do that very often. 7-0 in favor of the Chargers. Later on in the first quarter, 4th and 6, here's that fake field goal attempt I was telling you about. Mr. David Humm, the holder, fires to Dave Casper, keeping the drive alive, and it set up this play. 3rd and 11. Kenny Stabler back to pass. He finds Mr. Casper over the middle. He does the rest of the work. Man missed the extra point to make it 7-6. And Arthur Winnington rambles right here. 26 yards, good open field running. He's been a real find for Al Davis and Johnny Madden. In Miami, the Dolphins had to win today to keep pace with the New England Patriots, and they're doing just that. They're playing very well. Beaucamper has a block kick for a safety.
Okay, Mike, that Miami game now stands at 26-6 in the 3rd quarter. Mike Kirkland had to start that game for the Colts. Burt Jones, of course, still suffering with that busted shoulder. And in the big one going on right now, it is a surprise. Last week, the Seahawks beat the Raiders. This week, they are beating the Denver Broncos. It stands 14-10 at the half. Zorn to Sam McCullum, 44 yards. Morton to Rick Upchurch of 29 yards. And the Seahawks trying now for a share of first in the AFC West. This 1978 National Football League game is brought to you by Schlitz. Beer makes it good, Schlitz makes it great. And by Dodge and Your Dodge dealer, who invites you to come in and see why people are saying, hey, that's my Dodge. Bryant Gumbel back one more time in New York. Quickly, let's run down the scores of week number 9 as we start the second half. New England beat up all over the Jets today. The final there, 55-21, 8 TDs for the Pats. Washington 38-20 over San Francisco as Billy Kilmer got a start. Pittsburgh just got by the Kansas City Chiefs. The final there, 27-24. Cleveland, a big outing for Brian Sipe and company, 41-20 after 2 straight losses for them. St. Louis finally gets a win on the board, 16-10 over the Eagles. That one an upset. Another first-time victory goes to Homer Rice and the Bengals. They won 28-13 today over Houston despite Earl Campbell's 100-yard-plus rushing day. New Orleans beats the Giants. The final there, 28-7 as the Saints put 21 on the board in the second half. Detroit beat Chicago 21-17, 6 straight losses for the Bears. Green Bay beat Tampa Bay 9-7. Mark Hole a field goal with 41 seconds left. Oakland out in front of San Diego, that one 20-7. That ball game at the half. Miami 26-6 over Baltimore in the 3rd period. And Seattle out in front 14-10 over Denver Broncos, that one at the half. We've got a second half of action coming up. We'll get to it after a commercial break.
Earlier who made not such a wise decision to bring the football out of the end zone. It was Owens. Anderson had told him to leave it there, and he didn't want to do it. They fall on it and take it out to the 20-yard line. That's where they'll put it in play. So San Diego and Dan Fouts now will have to start putting some points on the board. Lydell Mitchell and Hank Bauer will be his running backs. Offensive line pretty much the same. Shields 66, Washington 70 at the tackles. Wilkerson 63, Ed White, former Minnesota Viking, at the guards, and the center is Don Masick. Ralph Peretta not available today. He's the regular center. Fouts did not have a particularly good half. I'm being kind to him, I guess, throwing the football. Mitchell breaking a tackle to the 25-yard line. Lydell picking up a quick 5. I guess that's termed a win on first down.
I believe that's it, Sam. I believe that is the magic number.
That's
putting him over 58 yards for the afternoon for number 26, Lydell Mitchell, and he jumped 3 places right now ahead, as you mentioned before, 2 Browns, Larry Brown and Bill Brown, and Steve Van Buren. So he is now number 26, Lydell Mitchell, 60 yards rushing. You need a 58. He is the 12th leading rusher in the history of the National Football League. He's not through yet.
A history-making carry, as it were. Mitchell again, not much there. It'll be third down at about 3.5 or so for the Chargers. So Lydell really distinguishing himself in a career that has only carried him 7 years out of Penn State University. Most durable football player, not particularly big at 5'11", 200 pounds. And as Lenny indicated to you, now the 12th all-time rusher. But his very close friend is still ahead.
Yes.
Somewhere in the neighborhood of 7th on the all-time list, Franco Harris.
Mitchell is not big, he's not strong, he's not fast, he just gets the job done.
Third down, the draw to Bauer, first down. In the grasp of Ted Hendricks to the 32-yard line. And so the Chargers convert a third down situation, and they maintain possession of the football.
That was important. That first down was very important. It might set the tempo for the second half for the San Diego Chargers. They've run 3 plays now, and they got the first down, and they want to establish that line of scrimmage. Take command of it.
And so Joyner goes wide right. 1 split receiver. Double tight end. Throws it out here to his tight end, Bob Klein. And he gets across the 35 to about the 36-yard line. It dawns on me, Len, that while all of our viewers in San Diego are well aware of it, those people who follow San Diego not with any regularity are probably wondering about Johnny Rodgers. And we should tell you that he is on the injured reserve list and gone for the year. A very exciting return specialist. The former Nebraska star, Johnny Rodgers, through for the year with San Diego.
Well, he has had nothing but injury problems since arriving in the National Football League.
Second down and 6 at the 36 of San Diego. Lydell's got a hold, and he's very close to a first down. Brought down by Jack Tatum, 32, along with Monty Johnson, 58. And it is a first down for San Diego. Mitchell finding some daylight, and if memory serves me correctly, and it should because it wasn't that long ago, this is the way the game started.
Yes, sir. They took command early, and then mistakes on the part of San Diego created their problems. I noticed that time they went away from 72, Big John Matuzak.
Joyner is a 1 split receiver from the I formation. Mitchell at the 45. A flag is down in the backfield of the San Diego Chargers. Generally, that is holding. But we'll let referee Jim Tunney tell you and tell us. Villapiano is the man who made the stop. I think he's had some mic trouble all during the first half. And he still has mic trouble.
But
they aren't ours, folks. They aren't ours. Offsetting penalties. 1 against San Diego, 1 against Oakland. They'll respot the football at the original line of scrimmage, and they'll do it again on 1st and 10.
That was a break for the San Diego Chargers. I think it was a late hit on Mitchell that was called on the Oakland Raiders, nullifying that play. But I say it's a big break because otherwise it would have been first down and 20 yards to go.
This has not been a great series through the years for San Diego. They have lost 23 of the games to the Oakland Raiders while winning just 12. 2 have ended in ties. Mitchell, 45, squirts to the 47-yard line in the grasp of John Matuzak. So he gains about 5 on the carry, 2nd down and 5, and the all-important first down play is being won consistently in this drive by San Diego. It enables Fouts to have a little more flexibility in his play selection on 2nd down.
They had 2 tight ends in the ball game. Pat Kearns one and Klein the other, trying to establish that line of scrimmage, because the reason they got 2 tight ends is because of the odd alignment used by the Oakland Raiders.
Again, Joyner is the 1 split receiver. Mitchell again to the 50 and maybe the 49 of Oakland. Glenn, I must tell you that on a quick jaunt, I'll tell you after we look at this play once again. Phil Villapiano.
Number 41, Villapiano is playing the run all the way, and he's slicing inside. That was predetermined before the snap of the ball where he was going to go. And he got the job done, got the tackle, coming up with a big play for the Oakland Raiders.
And a quick jaunt, as I started to say through the press box moments ago, I heard criticism of Coryell going to gimmick plays when the straight stuff was working. How do you react to that?
Well, it didn't work. That's why there's criticism. Had it worked, it would have been great.
3rd and 2. Mitchell, first down. Great effort by Lydell Mitchell. Squirmed out of the grasp of one tackler to about the 46-yard line. He was actually stopped shy of the first down. But he's just a great football player. There's nothing more you can say about it. Otis Sistrunk is a man who made the stop. Excellent statistics on the day for Lydell Mitchell.
The reason he was able to make that additional yard or two is because when he was hit, he turned and squirmed and went forward. 20 carries so far. I said he was going to get the ball. 80 yards on the afternoon. Number 26, Lydell Mitchell.
Now Fouts back to pass. Dumps it over the middle. It was deflected and almost intercepted. He intended the pass for one of his tight ends, Bob Klein. It was tipped, I believe, by Otis Sistrunk. But Fouts has had 3 or 4 of them batted back.
Four of them, Sam, so far today. What they ought to do is move that pocket instead of going back in, straight back in the pocket. Move it. Go to side to side, because you have to find a lane to throw in. You can't throw over these people. Now, it's great reaction by number 60, Otis Sistrunk, that gets a piece of that football. And why I'm talking about, see, their way he was trying to throw over it. It better to be one side or the other.
2nd down 10. They bring in the extra wide receiver. And the give on a delay to Mitchell. Artie Owens replaced one of the tight ends. Mitchell, the ball carrier, inside the 45, stopped by John Matuzak and one of the inside linebackers, Willie Hall, 39. And now Fouts again. He's been very, very successful in his 3rd down conversions to date. And let's see what he does here. He's got 3rd down and 7.
Well, this is a big one. There are about 9.5 minutes remaining in this 3rd quarter, so they are holding the ball right now, but it doesn't do you any good to hold the ball when you're behind unless you come up with some points at the end of the drive.
Dwight McDonald brings a play in from the bench, number 89, and then splits wide right. Charlie Joyner to the left. 3rd down, 7 Chargers, trailing 20-7. He's got a man. He threw it in behind him, but a great reception by Charlie Joyner, I believe, or is it Lydell? It is Mitchell, who reached behind him to take the ball off his hip, and he got the first down for San Diego.
Number 26, the man that he's looked for all afternoon, and what's going to happen, he's better go to somebody else pretty soon, because Oakland's going to know this too. But great protection by that offensive line. The ball was thrown behind him somewhat, but you could see by watching the eyes and the head of Lydell Mitchell that he was following that ball all the way in.
Well, he takes a short breather, standing behind head coach Don Coryell. Don Woods replaces him, number 33. 1st down, San Diego moving. Nothing there. He may have lost a yard. Ricky Anderson, the ball carrier, number 43. And he ran straight into Jeff Barnes, the 2nd-year man out of California.
2 tight ends in the ball game once again. On 1st down, it's what they've got to do occasionally on 1st down with 2 tight ends in there is put that ball in the air with a play pass, because Oakland is going to just set back and they're going to say, all right, they're running on 1st down. Let's stop the run on 1st down. And that's what they did that time.
No gain. 2nd down 10. They spot the ball at the 34-yard line of Oakland. Split 2 receivers. Bowers back in the backfield. He takes the pitch from Fouts, 35, and he's knocked down right there on a fabulous open field tackle by Willie Hall. And don't think the Raiders aren't delighted to have him off the injured list and back on the field.
Yes, sir. 39, Willie Hall has been out for 4 ball games, but this is as tough as a job as you can do. I'm talking about for linebackers to tackle a back in the open field. The problem there was that there were no offensive linemen out in front of the back.
And so Fouts gets out of one 3rd down situation only to face another one. Anderson is out. Lydell Mitchell is in. San Diego 5 out of 10, which is better than average in converting these 3rd down plays. Got a man. It's caught by Mitchell at the 12-yard line. Lydell Mitchell is all over the football field, and he puts the Chargers in business at the Oakland 13. They spot it.
Boy, I'll tell you, Fouts got out of trouble here because the linebackers, they were coming and they put pressure. He stepped up in the pocket, which is a very intelligent thing to do. As you see the linebackers sliding right there. 56 is Jeff Barnes. A great catch. Talking about concentration, talking about the head and the eyes. You can see it right there that Lydell Mitchell, number 26, is following that ball into his hands. And I love to see a receiver catch the ball in his hands.
Smile, Don, it's your ball club out there. And the give is to Don Woods, and he goes inside the 10 to maybe the 7-yard line. Well, they've not only given us a magnificent day here in Oakland, California, but a great crew to work with. And while we have a moment, our thanks to spotters Bill Breslin and Len Shapiro, our statistician Ted Reinholtz, of course, the folks in the truck making this all possible, our director Jim Holmes, and our producer David Stern, and most importantly, you watching at home. Eh, Len?
Number 58, Monty Johnson, limping off the field. He's been replaced by 56. That's Jeff Barnes, but Johnson coming out of the ball game.
I neglected our fabulous camera crew here, too, giving us some great shots at the 5-yard line. Woods, the ball carrier. It's going to be 3rd and short now for San Diego. 3rd down and short. They are inside the Oakland 5-yard line. Matuzak is the man who made the stop on Don Woods. I'm a little bit confused. Why use Woods in these very important situations, Len, when he didn't play much in the first half?
I'll tell you why. Because number 26, Lydell Mitchell, is a great runner, but when you get close to the goal line, you want somebody that's a slashing type runner and also a man that can block. Lydell Mitchell admittedly, or himself admits that he's not the greatest blocker in the world.
I knew there was a reason. I was glad I had you this week.
Monty Johnson is leaving the premises. He's going into the locker room.
3rd down and 1. Bauer gets the call, dives, and I don't know. I haven't the slightest idea. I would think he came up a little bit short. He did not penetrate. Neither did the San Diego offensive line. It seemed to be a standoff.
He may be an inch or two shorter because he's going up over the top, and he's running into a wall coming up right there. As I say, short, jammed his neck right back. Jack Tatum, number 32, is a tough.
Well, Jim Tunney wants the sticks brought in to take a look at it. I'm delighted to see that umpire Pat Harder, number 88, is doing fine. He was injured, if you weren't with us in the first half. Had to leave the field momentarily, but he's back out there. There's the story. They are short, and they are short by a good 3 feet. 4th down.
Got to go for it.
Well, it couldn't be 3 feet. I'm not much of a mathematician. 3 feet makes 1 yard.
That's right.
That isn't a yard, Leonard. Even I know that.
They need a foot, foot and a half.
Let's say a foot or a foot and a half.
They need somebody capable of leaping tall buildings out there right now.
Well, they haven't got Superman, but they've got Bauer and Mitchell. Mitchell gets the call. 1st down. Lydell Mitchell, I believe, got it with plenty to spare as he dives to about the 2-yard line.
Well, they were looking for the man that's capable of leaping tall buildings. They decided it was number 26, Lydell Mitchell, and he has only one choice. That's to go up over top. He's going to be hit, and he knows that. Now they're going to say, bring the chains out, gentlemen, and let's take a look.
He's done everything he's been asked to do today, except one pass I remember late in the first half that he dropped, which would have kept the drive alive for San Diego. It's 20-7 Oakland. The 1st down convincingly by the San Diego Chargers, 2 yards shy of a touchdown that'll get him right back in this football game. Time is not a factor at all with 4:48 to play, 3rd quarter. Delighted to have you with us with former Kansas City quarterback Len Dawson. This is Sam Nover. Bauer and Mitchell, the setbacks. Mitchell, no, he's not there.
Really got nailed on that play. Didn't make anything on that 1st down. They can take a look at it from this angle. They've got 4 downs if they want to run it in. If they wanted to throw the ball, that was the down to throw it, because as you could see right there, Oakland was definitely playing the run. 11 men up on that line of scrimmage.
Well, as Len told you, Monty Johnson still has not returned from the dressing room. Jeff Barnes has replaced him. So their linebackers read Hendricks 83, Villapiano 41, Barnes 56. Just 3 of them in there. 2nd down, goal. San Diego.
Quarterback keeping it.
Touchdown, Danny Fouts on a keeper. And the Chargers are right back in the football game.
Well, he's go to your best running back, he said. That would be number 14. Faking, going to the right with Lydell Mitchell and Bauer. And he found the hole, and get in and get down.
Come on, Coryell, react. Belatedly. Coryell seems to see better when he's down there at knee level, you know. Rolf Benershko will attempt the extra point. Boy, we have all sorts of possibilities, don't we? We discussed one of them at halftime. There's the kick. It's good. It's a 20-14 game. Yes, I know Oakland beat San Diego 21-20 at the second game of the season. And San Diego has a chance to return the favor, don't they? We'll be back to the Oakland Coliseum in just a moment.
Along with Sam Nover. And Sam, you mentioned at the top of the half, time of possession that Oakland had it in the first half.
Well, that 11:09 scoring drive by the San Diego Chargers has certainly changed that, hasn't it? 11:09. That may be one of the longest time-consuming drives in history. We have a little problem here. Oakland claiming they should get the football, but the ruling, I guess, on Benershka's muff kick is that he can do it again. I'd like to see that baby again. I was, quite frankly, looking away for a moment.
You've played baseball, haven't you? 3 strikes and you're out.
It's what you call a swing and a miss, isn't it? 11:09, Len. That's
it.
Incredible. That's how long San Diego held that 80-yard drive. Benershka to try it again. Short, very short at the 23-yard line. That's Raymond Chester straight up the left side. And he's finally brought down at the 45-yard line. Oakland with superb field position. They kicked it to the wrong man.
Really a short kick. This is all right if you're down covering it, but Raymond Chester knows one thing. I'm not going to fool anybody with my great moves, so I better get that shortest distance is a straight line, and that's where number 88, Raymond Chester, decided to go.
Well, they spot the ball just shy of the 45. Let's see whether or not the Oakland Raiders can respond to that incredibly long, time-consuming drive of San Diego. Van Egan breaks the tackle, and he crosses midfield to the 47 of San Diego. An excellent second effort. We pause briefly now for station identification. This is the NBC television network.
Attorney General candidates Burke and Duke Majan tonight at 6:30 on KNBC Los Angeles.
It's a 20-14 Oakland lead over San Diego with Len Dawson, Sam Nover at the Oakland Coliseum. We have but 3 minutes and 10 seconds left in the third quarter, thanks to an 11-minute drive by San Diego. Another gaping hole for Van Egan, a first down Oakland at the San Diego 40. Boy, that defense of San Diego is really being torn apart, and they are well rested, Len.
Well, there is a hole over there. 65 for the Oakland Raiders is Mickey Marvin, providing good blocking over there and good strong running. Now, this is what Oakland loves to do. They like to get that ball, grind it out, and all of a sudden, up comes Stabler with a play pass.
Branch goes wide left, Bradshaw right. Sticking to the ground, Van Egan on the sweep, maybe a yard. Played very well by Woodrow Lowe, who turned the play in. The third-year pro from Alabama, gain of a couple of yards, and they don't even give him that much. Give him a gain of 1, second down and 9. Van Egan last year led the entire AFC in rushing. Had one incredible day in Green Bay, third game of the season, and has had himself a nice year. 567 yards entering this ball game. 4.5 average. That's not a bad.
Well, he's really a durable back, too. He's tough because he's there week after week after week, and he's carrying the ball most of the time, 20, 25 times a game.
They slotted Whittington, takes it on the reverse. He's got open field inside the 35 to the 32-yard line. Well, he had open field right. They gave it to Whittington running from the slot. Mickey Marvin led the protection and the blocking for him. Well, here's another score for you. It's still 14-10. I thought we had additional scores, but we don't. It hasn't changed. It's still Seattle over Denver in that very important game at the Kingdome up the West Coast.
Bringing in the tight end, Sam. They're going for this short yardage situation.
There's the other one, Miami having a 20-point advantage over Baltimore in the third quarter, enabling Miami to keep pace with New England. The Patriots big winners over the Jets today. Van Egan for the first down as he busts inside the 30 to the 28. Fred Dean making the stop. And as I mentioned his name, Len, it dawns on me that I haven't said Fred Dean very often today.
Well, the last play that Woodrow Lowe made the tackle on that made a good play, Dean did a great job of stringing out the play. Now they've got 3 tight ends in the ball game, and you can see that the backs not only have to run, but they have to block. And you can see that the offensive line pushed that defensive line about 3 yards back, and that's the reason that play worked.
Pete Banaszak in for Van Egan. First down and 10. It's Whittington getting the call. A hole was there momentarily, and it closed ever so quickly as he reaches the 25-yard line. We haven't really mentioned it. I don't know, it's not particularly pertinent to the broadcast, but it's interesting for those of you who are fans of Kenny Stabler, as I'm sure both you and I are, Len,
yes,
that
sir.
he has shut the door to all the media. He did it after the 3rd game of the season. He just won't talk to anybody out here. Ever had days like that you didn't want to talk to the press?
I've had a lot of days, yes, that I didn't want to, but it happens to be part of the game. You know, you don't live and play in a closet. You're out there before millions of people.
Well, Kenny elects to let the final 5 or 6 seconds tick off here in the 3rd quarter. And so we've got 15 minutes of football left, and it could be very interesting, couldn't it? Oakland leads by 6. We'll be right back. Welcome back to Oakland. I'm Sam Nover. That's Len Dawson in the foreground. We'll have that Olympic address for you in just a few minutes. But, Len, you talked about whether they've got the class and the guts to come back. San Diego has not given up. It is a traditional rivalry and a great one, and we've got an excellent 4th quarter.
Well, that's for sure. Now, that's a thing that I'm sure that a lot of people were asking about the San Diego Chargers. They're a young football team. Now, can they stand adversity? They've got it going right now because Oakland is marching.
So Stabler has it at the 25-yard line. Gives to Van Egan, breaks a tackle inside the 20. Van Egan running very well with the football, stopped by Leroy Jones, number 68. But that will be good enough for another Oakland 1st down. Now here's that address again to send your tax-deductible contribution to help our American Olympic athletes. It's U.S. Olympics, Post Office Box 1980T, Cathedral Station, Boston, Massachusetts, 02118. Please do it. Do it today if you remember. 1st and 10, 17-yard line of San Diego. Give to Arthur Whittington. And he's down at about the 16 or so, maybe gained a yard. He's in the grasp of Woodrow Lowe.
He was in the grasp of about 4 or 5 of the San Diego Chargers. And I think they made up their mind on that play that they were definitely going to stop the run.
Well, Oakland's gotten themselves into a most enviable position now. If they don't get the 6, Len, they can at least attempt the 3.
Yes, they got to come away at least with an opportunity of getting 3 points because they're 6 points ahead now. 9 is a big difference.
2nd down, 9. Banaszak tried to cut it back up and got maybe a yard. Good pursuit by Rick Middleton from behind. The former Ohio State All-American, 57. So it's going to be 3rd down now for Stabler. Now does he put it up, Len?
Yes, he does. But he's going to throw a pass to make sure that if he doesn't throw it to his man, that nobody gets it. Throw the thing away. And don't forget about 87. So many times talking about Dave Casper.
3rd down. We've been told that Monty Jackson will not return today, or Monty Johnson rather will not return. X-rays were negative on his injury. Out in the flat to Whittington. Breaks a tackle. 15 inside the 10. Look at that little man scamper. Glenn Edwards finally put him down, but not before the 5'11", 180-pound rookie from SMU got the Oakland Raiders very, very close to a 1st down.
Stabler going back in the pocket, and Whittington is out here as an outlet. He just fires the ball out to him. Now make an open field tackle on this young man, and speed is coming to the front. And the reason why that he's such an outstanding back is because of that great speed and running ability.
He came up about a half a yard shy of the 1st down. It'll be 4th down. And 2 tight ends are sent into the game. Raymond Chester, 88, Warren Bankston, 46. And it's obvious that Madden wants to take 7 here out of this drive and perhaps put the game out of reach.
Banaszak in the ball game. Not only a great pass receiver, but an excellent blocker.
And Whittington comes to the sideline. So it's 4th down Oakland. Less than a yard at the San Diego 8-yard line. 20-14, the Raiders looking for more. Banaszak. Ooh, that's close. That is close. Preston is on top, along with number 71, Fred Dean.
There was absolutely nothing there. Nothing. If he made that, he did it strictly on his strength and his ability.
Well, the chains and the sticks are being called in from the near side of the field by Jim Tunney. We have had an indication from Louis Kelcher that it's no good, and one from an Oakland Raider that it's good.
Yes, they don't make the final decision.
Oh, boy. Well, he needed perhaps 18 inches, and he got about 9 of them. I mean, he needed 9 inches, and he got about 18.
Well, I said if he got it, he got it on his own strength because there was nothing there. And John Madden, he says, let's stop all this suspense. Please get into the end zone. Now, this is a time that Stabler loves to throw the football. Big play like that.
Hello there. Like anybody you know, Leonard. Well, he likes to throw it, and he likes to go for number 87. Let's see what happens. First and goal at the 8-yard line. Or would San Diego like to pull off a big defensive play here? Whittington trying to spin away and loses maybe a yard or two. 68, Leroy Jones was there on top, and Middleton, 57, again on the bottom. He replaced Don Good a few plays ago and has played extremely well.
Looked like Kenny Stabler on that play talking to his backs and his linemen. He might have been checking out of the play that he called in the huddle.
Loss of 2, second down and 10. Denver has just gone on top of Seattle. Lonnie Perrin, a 1-yard run. The Bronx lead the Seahawks 17-14. Here, Van Egan straight ahead, getting inside the 5 to the 4-yard line. Bob Horn, 55, the middle linebacker, is the man who made the stop. So they get back the 2 that Whittington lost and 3 more. It's still 5 yards shy of the goal line. Third down. Banaszak, or rather Bankston in, and Whittington out. A little extra blocking help for the Raiders.
You think maybe they'll work on that play that they tried the first game?
This would be a good place to call it, wouldn't it? What was Tatum's quote? I don't know what such a big deal is being made about it. It's just play 99 in our playbook.
Right.
Third down, Whittington sweeps, and there's nothing doing. How's that for a defensive play? Leroy Jones.
Leroy Jones has had about 3 of those plays on this drive. A couple of times when Oakland was stopped, he didn't make the tackle, but he created the problem for Oakland. Number 68, Leroy Jones, is stringing things out. Not only going to string it out, he's going to greet number 22, Arthur Whittington, about 2 yards deep in the backfield.
And don't underplay the effort made by Louis Kelcher, 74, who was right there. Should Whittington have broken the tackle of Leroy Jones, he wouldn't have gone far. Kelcher was there.
That's what speed will do for you in the big men of these defensive linemen. It's amazing how fast they are for as big as they are.
25-yard attempt, spotted at the 15 by Arrow Man. It is up. It is perfect. And so the Raiders' drive was not for naught. They come up with 3, forcing San Diego to score twice if they want to win it. That's our score, 4th quarter. The Raiders feeling a little bit better at the moment. A 9-point lead, 23-14. Guys, kickoff is short at the 20-yard line. Across the 30 to the 35, Artie Owens, number 85, is the man who ran it back and put the Chargers in fairly good field position. Len, we talked moments ago about the incredibly long, time-consuming drive of San Diego. Oakland didn't have a bad one themselves.
San Diego, 11 minutes, 9 seconds for their touchdown drive. Apparently, Oakland looked at that and said, well, that's a pretty good idea. It took them 8 minutes and 52 seconds before coming up with 3 points.
23-14. 8:59 left in regulation time. Fouts to Mitchell across the 40 to the 42-yard line. Lydell carrying again as he nears 100 yards on the afternoon. He has already moved into the 12th spot on the all-time rushing list in the National Football League. He did that when he got his 58th yard.
Well, he's 23 carries before that particular play. He had 86 yards, so he picked up all about 7 yards. So he's right at about 93 yards for the afternoon.
And like he's slightly injured, too. I mentioned very briefly as the Raiders were driving for that 3 points that Monty Johnson would not return. We have still not heard exactly what the injury was on the great inside linebacker of Oakland, but he's through for the day.
Here he is, 26, Lydell Mitchell coming up. Matuzak overrunning the play. He's going to get hit, he knows this, but apparently what happened is a headgear hit him on the leg. That's what it looks like to me, so it could be a thigh injury.
He's replaced by Ricky Anderson, the rookie out of South Carolina State, number 43. Play action for Fouts. He's got a man wide open, Artie Owens, and he's knocked down immediately by Jack Tatum. Tatum has done that a few times in his career. at the 41 of Oakland, but Owens was wide open and Tatum very late getting there.
This was double coverage. Otherwise, the defensive halfback came up to play the short area. The 32 Tatum is the safety getting deep outside, but there is a gap or a hole between those two defensive men. Already found it, but he also ran into number 32, Jack Tatum.
7-year veteran out of Ohio State has inflicted as much damage on wide receivers as any free safety in the National Football League.
That looks like almost the first pass that a wide receiver has caught this afternoon for San Diego.
First down and 10. Fouts has not thrown well today. He had better get his act together because time is running out. Throws the home run ball and way out of bounds. Intended for Artie Owens, but again double coverage. Downfield, Jack Tatum 32 and also Monty Jackson 42 were there to cover Artie Owens.
That was a good move on the part of number 14, Dan Faust. No one was open. He didn't want to take a chance of getting an interception here, so he just threw the ball away. No penalties, Sam, so far in the second half. First half started off with Oakland coming up with a couple of penalties right away.
I'm a little surprised Fouts is not throwing better today. He came into this game as the 4th leading passer in the AFC, 62% completion.
A lot of it has to
do. The highest in the AFC, incidentally, with 10 touchdowns. That's not the highest, but the percentage is. Man fell down, no flag. Intended for Artie Owens at about the 20-yard line, and he fell down. And Len, it's a good time to talk about that grass. You alluded to it earlier in the broadcast, but it's kind of fluffy, isn't it?
Well, there gets so much moisture here on the play that you can slip very easily. Now, I think the advantage goes to the men in black because they play here, and you can see right there the man was trying to make a move and slipped. Phillips also tried to make a move, and he slipped, or I should say Lester Hayes, number 37, he slipped. But the advantage should go to the Oakland Raiders because they have more knowledge of this surface.
So it's a big third down call for Dan Fouts. He's got Joyner and Artie Owens as his wide receivers. The open man and a great catch. It was McDonald, Dwight McDonald, 89. Wouldn't you know it? Failed to call his number, and he catches the football. A big first down at the 25 in the grasp of Lester Hayes, but the Chargers refuse to quit.
That was a great catch. That was great coverage by Lester Hayes. The ball had something on it. Dan was putting a little steam on it, getting some blitzing from the linebackers, but a great catch by 89, Dwight McDonald. He has to look at that ball and follow it. Said earlier, you can tell great receivers when they catch all passes in their hands. They don't catch it in their stomach.
We're told that Lydell Mitchell has a strained left knee, could come back. He hasn't got a lot of time left. 7.5 minutes in the 4th quarter. Over the middle, and it through the hands of McDonald this time. On a crossing pattern at the 10-yard line. It was thrown a little high by Fouts.
Do not do that. So one area you can't do. If you're going to be anything, be too low, because what happens, a receiver can tip it, and there is a defensive back. See, the ball is thrown too high. If it was a good throw down around the numbers, he'd have been able to position to catch. But you can see Jack Tatum is lurking back there.
You can almost understand Fouts overthrowing his receiver. He's had 4 of them batted back today. He's starting to get a little upset about it. Got to get him up higher and higher. Second down 10. Oakland leads at 23-14. Straight ahead. Anderson to the 20-yard line and inside the 20 to the 19, which will bring up a third down and about 4 situation for San Diego. Hall 39, Barnes 56 making the stop.
That was a good move on Anderson's part to get both arms around that football, because what Oakland is trying to do now is strip him of that football. And if you start carrying that ball like a loaf of bread, you're going to end up losing it.
Well, Lydell is back. Number 26. Paired in the backfield with Hank Bauer.
Passing situation. They need him back in there.
They sure do. Third down 4 at the Oakland 20. Out of the backfield, Mitchell, a great catch and out of bounds. Isn't he something? At the 9-yard line of Oakland. A first down and goal, San Diego. Comes off a strained knee and makes one of the big catches of the day.
Everybody in this whole place knew that 14 Fouts was going to go to number 26, Lydell Mitchell. It's a high throw. It's about the 3rd high throw in a row. But he maintained. Look at his head. He's looking at that ball, finally coming up with it. But he has one-on-one coverage with the linebacker, and they figure that is a mismatch because Mitchell is going to come up with the ball most of the time.
I wonder if Baltimore owner Robert Irsay cringes every time he sees Mitchell make catches like that. Had him and wouldn't give him what he wanted and traded him to San Diego. Over the middle, it's low and incomplete. and Fouts may have thrown that one away. McDonald was in very heavy traffic at the goal line and had virtually no chance of completing the pass.
Well, that's another play too that you don't want to be throwing that too high. One of two things: drill it in the ground or throw it back there where the band is located, way back in the end zone.
The stats on Dan Fouts this afternoon: he will quite apparently drop from his 4th spot among the American Football Conference passers. He's had a great day, but he's not out of the football game.
He's had a lot of pressure. He's had a lot of pressure today, and I wouldn't be surprised to see Oakland come with their linebackers on this play.
2nd down 9. Wanted the quick pop over the middle. On second thought, almost threw it into Willie Hall's hands. Dropped at the goal line, intended for his tight end Bob Klein.
I'll tell you what he wanted to do. He wanted to throw to Charlie Joyner, but Charlie got disjointed because he was knocked down by Lester Hayes, 37. But this is a dangerous throw there in the middle of all that traffic. And you can see number 39, Willie Hall, says, I should have had that pass.
6:37 to play in regulation time. The question now, if San Diego doesn't get 6 on 3rd down, do they take the 3 and try to get the 6 later?
They take the 3 because they still need 2 scores.
23-14 Oakland. Great football game. Nice to have you aboard here on NBC. Fouts feeling the pressure is dragged down from behind. The man scored, Ted Hendricks, number 83, has really taken the decision out of Don Coryell's hands. It's got to be a field goal attempt.
The blocking, this is a mismatch. This is why they blitzed Ted Hendricks, because a back has to block him. Now, Hank Bauer is a good, tough fullback, but he isn't that tall. He's around 6 feet tall, and it's a mismatch to try to block number 83, who used to be a defensive end in college. What they need to do is get one of those big offensive linemen out there on the Stork.
Benershka will attempt. The hold will be at the 17-yard line. It'll be a kick at 27 if good. Rolf Benershka. Placement, the kick is up. It is good. And so the San Diego Chargers remain alive. It's a 23-17 Oakland lead. We'll be right back.
Dawn Launch, Sea of Japan. See a recruiter or call toll-free. It's not just a job, it's an adventure.
The Saint is marching in. Dodge introduces the Saint Regis, the full-size car of the future. Trim outside, roomy inside, luxuriously appointed, but with the efficiency of the...
Will they go for the onside kick with 6:08 to play? Probably not. Benershka kicks it deep. And it's Arthur Whittington at the 2-yard line, to the 10, the 20, 25, hit and spun around right at the 25-yard line. Middleton is there, 57. And so the Raiders now needing to tick off some seconds on that clock with 5:57 to play and clinging to a very tenuous 6-point lead over San Diego.
Right now, San Diego knows that they have got to stop Oakland's running game. They've got to stop it. And they're going to be putting people up there very close to that line of scrimmage, looking particularly on 1st down. And I guess if Stabler was ever going to throw a play-action pass, this would be a time to do it. You can look at all the defensive people up there.
Well, I was going to say Shell and Upshaw would probably get their share of business here in the last few minutes, but they run off their right guard that time. Mickey Marvin, 65. Van Egan for very short yardage. A gain of perhaps a yard on the play. 2nd down and 9. Middleton, 57. Along with Al Stringert, 45. Or rather, Stringert has come into the game, replacing Jerome Dove.
We didn't mention, but early in the ballgame, you may recall, number 70, Henry Lawrence, left the ballgame because of an injury problem, but you know, that's a good, he's back out there right now is what I'm trying to say.
52,612 enjoying every second of it here at the Oakland Coliseum. 1,900 no-shows as Whittington squirms for a yard or two, and the Charger defense starting to tighten up. And the Oakland fans, of course, not enjoying the conservativeness of this kind of play. with 5:03 to go, but Stabler really has no choice.
Well, no, he wants to get a first down. He's telling his offensive line in there, we've got to come up with this. We get a first down. That means we can run another 2 minutes off the clock.
Leroy Jones, number 68, is out. Wilbur Young, the ex-Kansas City Chief, 99, is in. He's a horse at 6'7", 276.
They're getting that bulk in there.
Third down. Stabler with about 7 to go, looking for a man. It's Casper. Oh, my goodness, how he ever hung on to that one, I'll never know.
No problem, he says. Jumps right back up. But when he gets in trouble, I'm talking about Stabler, when he needs some yardage, number 87, the man he's looking for, and he finds him. This is just a great catch. As I said, when people catch it in their hands like he's doing right there, and he really takes a jolt from Stringer, number 45, when he caught the ball, and also Rick Middleton, number 57. But, you know, this is a tough man.
Well, it was Middleton and Stringer made like bookends on Casper, but he held on to the football. He got a very important first down. Van Egan trying to run wide across the 40 and out of bounds at the 41. And so a big possession play for John Madden's Oakland Raiders. 3:50 to go, and the clock continues to turn. He did not get out of bounds.
Turned up field, which was a good move on his part. He knew that he had to stay in bounds. He didn't want to get out of bounds. He wants that clock to run. The clock is the deciding factor in this ball game, just like it was in the very first game between these two teams.
Well, it's an ally of the Oakland Raiders at this particular moment. It continues to move. 3:25 to go. Second down and 8. Anticipating any kind of finish here in Oakland. They've done it once. What's to prevent them from doing it again, huh? Van Egan cut it up at the 45, across to about the 47. Stopped by Gary Big Hands Johnson, about 2 yards shy of the first down. They tell me that Big Hands is married to a woman they call Little Hands, and their first child is named Tiny Hands.
No.
That's what I'm told. I don't make these things up, Len.
Woodrow Lowe, number 51, the linebacker, took a shot at Van Egan that time. He missed him. Had he made the tackle, it would have been in there for about a 4-yard loss.
And again, Stabler's got third down. Not quite as much as last time when he went to Casper, but he's got a full 2 yards and a little more. Extra tight end for blocking, 3 of them to be exact. Van Egan did not make it. Ran into Rick Middleton, 57, and everybody else. Mike Fuller was there on top. 4-year veteran out of Auburn who's played a very strong football game. And so the Raiders on 4th down, now faced with the decision of the football game. 2:29 to go. Although, quite frankly, it wouldn't appear to be such a big decision. He has no choice but to kick it away. And watch, he brings Banaszak in and refuses to kick it away. How's that for guessing, Len? I should leave that to you.
Well, this is, and it may not be calling the play. There's 2 minutes and 26 seconds counting down now before the 2-minute warning, so they can't get a 5-yard penalty for too much time. They may get up and not really call a play. That's all they're doing. They're running that clock down to the 2-minute warning.
It's 2:08, and the count continues. The Raiders cannot get a delay of game, and they will count it down to the 2-minute warning, and we have a very interesting final 2 minutes, planned or unplanned. We'll be back in just a moment here in Oakland with the Raiders leading by 6. Final 2 minutes of this thriller with Len Dawson. This is Sam Nover. And the Oakland Raiders have elected, after stretching out the dramatics for quite a while, Len, to punt it away. He had a team on the field that looked like he wanted to run on 4th and 1.
No, I don't think there's any way. They're with a full yard to go on 4th down. They were just playing a little cat and mouse game with the San Diego Chargers. The guy's going to kick it as far as he can.
Well, the whistle blows before Guy got his foot into it. Mike Fuller, 42, and Peter Shaw, 44 in the deep receiving spots. The Raiders get the delay of game, and Guy will have to kick it from 5 yards deeper.
I think he's happy that he's getting another opportunity, because it looked like he kicked that last one with his knee. Didn't go anyplace.
It was not your typical Ray Guy kick. 23-17, the Raiders. And we're looking for another storybook finish here in Oakland. The Oakland Raiders and San Diego Chargers have played some wild ones over the years. None quite as wild as the second game of this 1978 season in San Diego. You remember it well. The eventual fumble recovery by Dave Casper in the end zone for the winning touchdown in the last play of the game. We have the scene set for something that would approach that kind of dramatic ending.
What San Diego cannot do is get a penalty now. Well, that's a line drive kick.
Boy, is it ever. Fuller will have it at about his 13 to the 20, 25, shy of the 30-yard line, and that's where Dan Fouts and the Chargers offense will put it in play. They are 71 yards away from a potential winning score, 45 yards on the kick, 17 on the return. And there's a minute 50 to go in regulation time. So Fouts has had plenty of time to speak with the brain trust of the San Diego Chargers. We'll be back here to Oakland in just a moment with the Raiders needing to hold off the Chargers.
Hey, nice. Where'd you get it?
Avis Rent-A-Car.
Avis introduces rent-a-cars you wish you owned, like the Chevy Caprice,
I think I'll park it myself.
the Cadillac Sedan DeVille, the Olds Cutlass, Buick Regal, the Pontiac Grand Prix. Rent-a-cars you wish you owned. Avis now features GM cars.
Avis, we don't know another way.
It's drag racing champion, 240-mile-an-hour Tom McEwen. And 40-mile-an-hour Fred Dreyer, dune buggy champ of the LA Rams.
Hey, Fred, you better watch the speed limit.
Look, Tom, they don't call me the Sandman for nothing, you know.
Yeah, but first of all, you're a Pennzoil man, right?
I put Pennzoil quality in all my buggies.
Pennzoil quality.
Ask for it.
Yeah.
Time permitting, the Sperry NFL report will follow our telecast here from Oakland. The scores and highlights of games around the National Football League today. But don't leave us yet. A minute 50 to go in the fourth quarter. The Oakland Raiders leading by 6 over San Diego. And the Chargers 71 yards away from what could be a winning score. They send Artie Owens wide right, Charlie Joyner to the left. The setbacks are Woods 33 and Bauer 37. And Fouts is back to throw it. The rush is on. He got it away. It's almost intercepted. He threw it in behind his tight end, Greg McCrary, who got a hand on it. And it was almost intercepted by Tatum on the deflection.
That's what we were talking about, the high passes. If they get deflected, defensive backs have an opportunity to catch it. He was lucky he got that ball off because zeroing in on him was the Stork, number 83, Ted Hedricks. They're keeping a back end to block Ted Hedricks, which to me is a mismatch. 37, Bauer's 5'11". The Stork is 6'7", and is accustomed to rushing the passers. I say, just got it off.
Second down, back live. Owens wide left and Joyner right. Same setbacks. Fouts with time. Throws it down, and a great catch by Artie Owens. 45-yard line of Oakland. A minute 35. The Chargers have all of their timeouts left. Hurry up offense. And the Raiders cannot diddle-daddle. There will be a delay of game against Oakland. The home run to Joyner. Oh, and it was tipped away at the last second by Monty Jackson. The flags are down because Oakland was not onside when San Diego was ready to snap.
That was a good play by Fouts because that was a free play. Because he knew it was going to be a 5-yard penalty against Oakland, so even if it were intercepted, no problem. Give your man an opportunity to come up with a great catch because Joyner last week against Detroit, even though they lost big, came up with a fantastic catch in the end zone for a touchdown.
Well, the former Los Angeles Ram, Monty Jackson, certainly earned the big price that Oakland paid to get him, a number of high draft choices in ensuing years as the 4-year pro out of San Diego State leaped high to tip it away. Here it is again, Les.
Yes, sir. He's just throwing the ball up in the air, high and far, giving his man at least an opportunity to come up with a big catch. But number 42, Monty Jackson, is on the scene and does a great job of deflecting the ball without touching number 18, Charlie Joyner, because there could be very easy in the end zone pass interference.
1st and 5 after all is said and done. The delay of game against Oakland has been walked off to the 40-yard line. There's your story. 23-17 Oakland, a minute 19 left. Fouts throws it out in a flat. It was tipped around and Woods couldn't hold on to it. And in all fairness to Don Woods, he was looking right back into a very bright sun.
Very good point. You can see right there he's looking directly into the sun. Otherwise, the thing to do is to come back or make sure that you catch the football. Don't leave it. You can see right there, even the television camera indicates that the sun is very bright there. He didn't see the football.
Excellent video work by our crew on hand here in Oakland. Second down, 5. The first down, not an immediate problem for Fouts. A minute 15 to play. He needs the touchdown. Has Mitchell back in the ball game. Throws it over the middle and almost intercepted. Lester Hayes, 37, with excellent coverage on the intended receiver, who I believe is Artie Owens.
Look now for number 26 after that. Here's the replay on that. And he, as they say, escaped lightning, because this ball very easily could have come up in the hands of the Oakland Raiders with an interception, because the man is on the scene. Great defensive play.
Well,
Lester Hayes, number 37. Now look for 26. That'd be Lydell Mitchell.
Excuse me, Len. I was going to say now he's got to start thinking about the first down.
Well, that's the man that he generally goes to in a situation like this is Lydell Mitchell.
Artie Owens is out. Dwight McDonald in. He's got Mitchell in the backfield along with Don Woods. Third down, 5. The crowd is alive. Throws it down the sidelines for McDonald, and it's tipped away. And again, Fouts went into the sunshine, forcing his receiver to look right back into a bright sun. I don't quite understand it, Lynn.
No, I don't either. Now this is fourth down situation. On third down is when he should have come up and gotten the ball to somebody, because this is the home run shot. I assume that they felt that they could go up top on Lester Hayes. They've tried it a couple of times, but you're right into the sun, and he didn't get the ball far enough. Almost really a great reception on the part of San Diego. But number 37, Lester Hayes, is right there on the scene. Now he has to pick up the first down.
And so this is his last hope with a minute 4 to go. Fourth down and 5. And the Raiders go with 5 defensive backs. He must convert this particular play. He being Dan Fouts. Throws it. It's incomplete. The flag is down. Lester Hayes thought everything was fine, and it's going to be offensive interference against the San Diego Chargers because he is still elated. No!
What a break. What a break for San Diego. They had 2 receivers in the same area down there. 89 is McDonald. 84 is Klein, the tight end. Fouts has got to get rid of it. He wanted to go to number 26, Lydell Mitchell, but he was well covered. Here it is, 2 receivers in the same spot. They're going to call pass interference on Oakland. New life.
I will never again fall into that trap of letting a player's reaction. Lester Hayes listened to the official, it appeared, continued to leap for joy. I assumed it was against San Diego. I apologize to San Diego fans. They are very much alive. 58 seconds to play at the Oakland 30. The home run ball. Touchdown, San Diego. The tight end, Greg McCrary. Do you believe it? All the Chargers have left their bench.
They've got to remember one thing, that's tied. It's not 1 point ahead for San Diego. And remember this, 10 times today, the extra point was not made, including 1 here this afternoon by Oakland. But what a fantastic finish. They put McCrary, number 88, in the ball game because as a tight end, he's got better speed and a better pass receiver than Klein. Great throw by Dan Fouts and a tremendous catch right in the corner of the end zone before he goes out. Did we say, could it happen?
Wow.
Once again?
Speechless is the word for the day. Charles Phillips had the coverage, but to no avail. On the tight end, look at the elation from Greg McCrary. The extra point forthcoming. Ralph Benershka attempting to give the San Diego Chargers a 24-23 lead. However, keep in mind, there are still 52 seconds to play. The Raiders have all of their timeouts, and the Raiders have been known to pull these things out when you would at least expect them to. We'll be back with the extra point in just a moment.
We cooked something.
With Len Dawson, Sam Nover back at the Oakland Coliseum. The point that could win it. About to be attempted out of a Mike Fuller hold. Rolf Benershka, the extra point. Kick is up. It is good. And the San Diego Chargers have come back to take a 24-23 lead over the Oakland Raiders with exactly 52 seconds to play.
Well, it didn't take him very long to score. 58 seconds that time to score the touchdown.
So as you look at John Madden, he's got quick decisions to make. Well, there is no scriptwriter in Hollywood, California who could have written a better one. As you watch Don Coryell congratulate his players on the sidelines, it's hard to believe it's happened, Len, after what San Diego had happened to them in San Diego. The last play touchdown by Oakland earlier this year. They have come back to score with 52 seconds to play and lead Oakland 24-23. Benershka's kick to Whittington. Fumbled at the 5. At the 15. Down at the 21-yard line. And so with 46 seconds to play, Stabler is at least 50 yards away from a field goal attempt. Here's the touchdown play again.
Greg McCrary never caught a pass any more important than this. And you can see it was a corner move or toward the corner of the end zone, coming up with a great pass by Fouts, a great catch. Touchdown, they're ahead. They only need, might remind, though, that, you know, the last time it was a touchdown that was necessary for Oakland to win. They need now just 3 points.
So Stabler back in the huddle from the 20-yard line. Prevent defense by the San Diego Chargers. 5 defensive backs. 3 wide receivers, Biletnikoff, Bradshaw, and Branch. He dumps it to Casper behind him, and he caught it, and he's down right there at the 27-yard line. Well, now they say it's incomplete.
He's an amazing football player. And generally, when things are tight, things get tough, number 87 somehow gets involved in the play.
He's trying to show the official where he caught the ball. I believe you, David, honest to goodness. I've seen you catch him all over. He said he had it trapped against his forearm. Incompleted pass, 2nd down, 10 Oakland. 49 seconds. And the clock, which has been an ally of the Oakland Raiders throughout this entire 4th quarter, finally turned against him. Throws it to Casper, intercepted. Number 51. Woodrow Lowe. And for all intents and purposes, it's over here in Oakland. Louis Kelcher in a victory reach with his arms high over his head. Woodrow Lowe with the interception on the deflected pass.
Said earlier in the ball game, we said 2 or 3 times that when that ball is tipped by an offensive man, the man who has the best shot of catching it is always the guy playing defense, not offense, because generally there's only 1 receiver in a particular area. There may be 2 or 3 defensive men. You can see right here Casper almost coming up with a fantastic catch, but Woodrow Lowe, number 51, is there. What he should do right now is get both arms around that football, make sure he doesn't fumble.
29 seconds is all that separates the San Diego Chargers from a most dramatic victory. We'll be right back.
If your business.
On your left, it's John Madden, pensive, not very happy. On your right, ecstatic is Don Coryell. The San Diego Chargers, 29 seconds away from a victory, and his team has the football. And this may throw the AFC West into some utter confusion, although Denver continues to lead Seattle 17-14. The give is to Don Woods, and he stopped at about the 17-yard line, and the Oakland Raiders have to take a timeout there. Villapiano calls it, and they stop the clock with 22 seconds to play. Now, Len, let's rehash it. If Denver can hold their lead at the Kingdome in Seattle, they will lead the AFC West by a game over Oakland, who will at that point be 5-4. Seattle will be 2 back at 4-5. San Diego will be 3 back at 3-6. However, should Seattle come back to win it, Seattle, Denver, and Oakland will all be 5-4.
Well, you know, it's going to be a tremendous finish. Right now at this ball game, I was surprised at the handoff, because the more handoffs you make, the more opportunities of fumbling.
Well, let's take a look once again at Fouts laying it right on the money to McCrary for what could be the winning score.
Great protection, great throw, great catch, keeping both feet in bounds. That is the play. This could perhaps get this San Diego Charger football team turned around and doing the things that a lot of people felt that they were going to be doing all along.
Well, they've lost a few of them in the final seconds. It'll be sweet for them to win one, I'm sure. Woods again being thrown down at about the 15-yard line. The Raiders will take their second timeout and stop it with 17 to play. 17 ticks of the clock, and the San Diego Chargers could have their third victory of the year. You really don't have a lot of choice here. It's just knowing exactly what Oakland's got to do one more time, Leonard.
Well, they're going to try to strip the ball carrier of the football. Now, that's what surprises me about San Diego, that they're making the exchange from the quarterback to a running back. The thing that generally to do in a situation like this is bunch everybody in tight and get somebody back there in case the ball is fumbled. Maybe a wide receiver, put him in the backfield way back there in case it's fumbled. He's there to recover or make the tackle.
NFL report follows us. Scores and highlights around the National Football League. Madden has one timeout left. And even if he gets the football back, he will be in the most unenviable field position somewhere in the neighborhood of his own 10 or 15-yard line. No place to have to go to get a score.
No, sir.
With maybe 10 or 11 seconds left.
Oakland has come up with miracles in the past.
Have they ever?
The last time these two teams met, they need another one right now.
Fouts straight ahead on the dive play to Hank Bauer. 13 seconds. The clock stopped for the final time by the Oakland Raiders. Mike McCoy and Willie Hall making the stop, and they have used all of their timeouts. It is 4th down. And Fouts goes back to the sidelines to speak with Don Coryell. These are agonizing seconds, I know. But that's part of football. What producer of NBC's NFL Football is Don Olmeyers. Today's telecast has been produced by David Stern, directed by Jim Holmes, the technical director Ray Figelski, and the associate director is Bob Osberg. 13 seconds left. A field goal attempt by Rolf Benerschke.
The miracle that Oakland needs now is to block this thing.
Placement, the kick is up. And it is good. Benerschke with a 32-yard field goal, giving the San Diego Chargers a 27-23 lead. Somebody better tell me why you would take a chance like that, Len.
I don't believe that I would have. I would have faked that field goal on that time and run, because all Oakland is going to do, they're going to get one play. Now, regardless of whether you have a 1-point lead or a 4-point lead, they need the one play. It has to be a touchdown. Now they're going to have an opportunity here. Maybe they'll get 2 plays because they'll have the kickoff. And then perhaps after the kickoff, they have one more play.
Well, I'd be very interested in hearing Don Coryell's reasoning somewhere along the line after the game.
It's very simple. He said, well, I knew we were going to make it.
Okay. Well, I understand perfectly now.
Okay, a positive approach.
There is considerable conversation going on in front of the San Diego bench with their special team.
We'll tell you the reason why is because they're trying to determine what type of kick they want to kick. Do they want to kick a line drive type of kick? They don't want to onside kick it because that would put Stabler in a position where, you know, the throw is going to be into the end zone. They're going to try maybe line drive kick and have it bounce around down there, and hopefully maybe not one of the deep men pick it up, maybe one of those big linemen picking it up.
Isn't this a fabulous game? Look at the brain trusts on either side of the field trying to outsmart each other. However, it's in the final analysis won by the people on the field, isn't it, Len?
You better believe it.
Benerschke, 10 seconds left in the game. 27-23 San Diego.
Yep, that's what he's doing. Squib kick.
Trying to get out of bounds is Raymond Chester, and he does at the 35-yard line. That used up 2 seconds. Derek Ramsey it was, 84, and not Chester, 88.
It wasn't the type of kick that he wanted. It went too quickly to that man. He was able to get it and get out of bounds in a hurry. You see, both teams knew what was going on. It all boiled down to the type of kick.
So Stabler has gone into the huddle and saying probably now to his teammates, it's time for that play, the miracle. You know, the one we pull off every now and then. And everybody knows exactly what to do.
I would look for number 21, Branch, because he is the burner. He's the guy that can go up top.
Over the middle, incomplete, intended for Bradshaw. He'll get another chance. Stabler trying to hit Bradshaw over the middle at midfield, stopping the clock with 4 seconds to go on the incompletion. The final 3 minutes of this football game has taken what seems an eternity, with more dramatics than you could ever expect. But the San Diego Chargers and Oakland Raiders have done it so often before that I guess it doesn't come as any really great surprise.
They've got a lot of defensive backs in there. They're going to be back there 30 yards deep, so you're not going to get behind them. You're going to have to throw the ball in front of them to somebody that can run very fast, like a Branch or a Bradshaw, and hope that he gets through those people and scores. But not today. It's not going to happen.
It's all over.
San Diego.
Through the hands of Bradshaw, the gun sounds. Bradshaw still down in midfield. Coryell has won a beauty, hadn't he? 27-23, the San Diego Chargers have come back into Oakland and really have righted what went wrong, at least they thought went wrong in San Diego. Vindication is theirs, I guess. Let's take a look at that winning score again, Len. They'll look at it, I'm sure.
Well, they looked at the last play between these two teams the first time that they played 7 weeks ago. You're going to look at this one many times. It's Fouts to McCreary, end zone, 6 points, a victory.
Well, let's give Dan Fouts one heck of a lot of credit, because we said a great deal and frequently during the telecast today that he was not throwing the football well. He didn't have a great day statistically, but the important thing is that he got the pass on the money that he had to have to win it.
He had a lot of pressure. You must inform the people that in the first half, Oakland was really putting a lot of pressure on Fouts. 4 of his balls tipped in the ball game, but the important thing was that, you know, he stayed in there very.
Now let's turn our attention to yesterday's NFL highlights. The place, the Oakland Alameda County Coliseum, and it's Oakland against San Diego. In the very first quarter, San Diego thirsting for revenge. The score 0-0. 1st and 10 at the Oakland 11. Draw play, and that's Hank Bauer busting through Monty Jackson and busting through Jack Tatum, and that takes some doing. Touchdown. San Diego in the lead, 7-0. It was 7-6, San Diego in the second quarter. Oakland ball 1st and 10 at the San Diego 26. 22 off the Whittington. Bursting around left end, 26 yards, touchdown. Oakland ahead, 13-7. Then in the fourth quarter with the score 23-17, Oakland, 58 seconds remaining. Chargers ball 1st and 10 at the Raider 29-yard line. Number 14, Dan Fouts, back to pass. And he throws to number 88, Greg McCrary. Perfect pitch. Touchdown. San Diego moved ahead 24-23, went on to win 27-23, avenging an earlier controversial defeat. So suddenly the Oakland team is in trouble with a record of 5-4. San Diego with 3-6.
A subdued optimism settled upon San Diego as the Chargers sought to revenge a heartbreaking loss to the Oakland Raiders earlier in the season. One individual who made revenge seem unattainable was rookie Art Whittington, number 22, whose ability to get outside complements Mark Van Egen's power running up the gut. Another Charger nemesis was wise Oakland quarterback Kenny Stabler. Observing that San Diego was worried about the Oakland ground game, Stabler went to the air with emphatic results from sure-handed tight end Dave Casper, who would not be denied 7. Down 20-7 at the half, the Chargers shut down the Raider ground game and set their sights on the head of the problem. Relentlessly, the defensive front stalked Stabler with number 68 Leroy Jones leading the way, proving why San Diego is first in the AFC in sacks. Inspired by the defensive sacking clinic, Dan Fouts and the Charger offense came to life. With 52 seconds remaining, this 29-yard touchdown pass from Fouts to Greg McCrary, number 88, climaxed a masterful come-from-behind Charger triumph in Oakland. While the Chargers savored sweet revenge, Oakland defensive end Ted Hendricks wondered just how long it's been since the Raiders lost 2 in a row.